My screen?
Yes.
Acha. So we are continuing the topic that we had last time, which is how to become a yogi 24/7 in amidst the busy schedule of everyday life. Okay, and of course, there are 31 people, but many more registered. I guess they couldn't attend because of their busy schedule,
Bhakti,
which is a little counterintuitive. Hare Krishna, Bhai, how are you? And one of the points I said yesterday in the last class is that actually yogi, generally there's idea of someone who has renounced the world, but actually a yogi is someone who is attached to Krishna. You see, yoga means plus. Yogi means attached to Krishna. And Narayana Parayana, Sarve, wherever he goes, one who is Narayana Parayana, who is Krishna conscious, is always remembering Krishna. And the verse says, even in hell, if he's going through hell for some reason for preaching, still he does not forget Krishna. So the essence of Krishna consciousness is to remember Krishna. Satatam Vishnu smartavyam na vismartavyam cha. One should not also forget. The twin injunctions are there. The old, and there used to be, the Hindus are very good in telling stories and then misunderstanding their meaning. And why do we say Hindus are like that? Because I explained the difference between sadhana and sadhya. And sadhana is the means to achieve something. Sadhya is the final attainment. There are activities in both stages, but they're completely different. I gave the example that if you got a job in Delhi and you're going from Chennai to Delhi, and the sadhana part is that you have to buy a ticket and you have to go to the train station, you have to pack everything and you have to get into the train and make the journey. But when you reach Delhi, sadhya part begins because you have reached Delhi. Now the purpose for which you are going to Delhi begins. At that time, whatever you did in sadhana part is not relevant. Now you have to go there, you have to find your place, you're going to stay, go to the company, take the job. So usually sadhana and sadhya are completely different. And generally in what is called religion, all religions including Hinduism, the sadhana part is considered as sadhya. The sadhana part, I said, that consists of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. And you have to, the sadhana part is to get completely liberated from Chennai, because that's where you are. And you must come to Delhi. So sadhana part is that you have to be completely free from the material world and you have to come to the spiritual platform. Brahma bhuta prasannatma madbhaktim labhate param. Without being liberated, devotional service does not begin. Prabhupada writes, Srila Prabhupada writes in the first page of devotional, Nectar of Devotion. So although we may say, Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhavatat Bhakti Rahetu Ki Tvayi, that life after life I want to do. The point is that we will come to that in a moment. But the point is that even up to liberation, it is only the means. So Vedanta concerns actually what you do after the achieve liberation. Actual spiritual life begins. So this is the normal religions. They don't know the sadhya part. They may have some idea about God, kingdom of God, Vaikuntha, like that. But generally people are thinking it is, if you go to Vaikuntha, you'll be liberated. And that's the main reason. Actually, no. Therefore, in Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta given by the one and only Sri Lakshitanya, the sadhya part, sadhana part is the sadhya part only. Sadhana and sadhya are one and the same in the sense that the sadhya, what are all the activities that you are doing once you go to Goloka, you can do now here. But we must know, when we perform the sadhya part in the sadhana stage, we must know it, there is a difference in that we have to become pure. Otherwise, it will not have effect. Chanting Hare Krishna is done both in the spiritual world and we can do it in the material world. But here we have 10 offenses which we must eliminate progressively. Therefore, chanting has got 3 stages: offensive stage, clearing stage, and then pure stage. What is this? They will not come automatically. Automatically also it can come about Bahu Kotikala. It will take a long time. So we should not be careless, without attention. These are all. So this is actually, these things must be known to become a yogi. Because a yogi who is always with Krishna, 24 hours, you see. And to be with Krishna, you must know who is Krishna. It's not a simple thing at all. Therefore, the first important stage in Krishna consciousness is hearing, I said. Okay. So this is a very important thing, hearing, and the hearing should be continuous. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Shravanam means hearing, and Kirtanam means in the beginning preaching to yourself. Thinking, oh, Krishna is like this, Krishna is like that, but I'm not, I'm like this, I'm like that, I'm not a devotee of Krishna. When will I become a devotee of Krishna? Like that. You see? This is Kirtanam, this is preaching in the beginning. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that we can't wait for you to become perfect. So, Amara Ajna, on my order, you preach. Otherwise, unless one is liberated, one is not supposed to, are liberated and a devotee. One is not supposed to preach. But it is emergency. Prabhupada said, like when there's a wartime, shortage of doctors are there, then the government may quickly train some people in basic medical techniques, how to treat the burn, this and that, maybe basic things. They put them on the front to treat the soldiers. See? So similarly, Lord Chaitanya is putting us into the emergency front. But this does not make us gurus in that sense that we are gurus. It means you are teaching. You are a teacher. Just like you tell somebody in the emergency, even a 10th class student, he can teach for 5th class students. He's a teacher, but he's not a teacher. He's not appointed. Bona fide means appointed, authorized. So we should know this point that a guru is by his qualification. Whether he has anybody to disciples or still a guru. In the example, just like a doctor, if he has got a degree, whether he treats patients or not, he's a doctor. But if you are not a doctor, no matter how many patients you treat, you are not an official doctor, authorized doctor. Like that, you may preach, and no matter how many times you preach to how many people, you are not a guru. So in the modern times, because of the Western influence, people say, oh, you see, he is management guru, he is tennis guru, like that. But this is not guru. Guru means, Jai Krishna Tattva Veti, say Guru. Krishna Tattva. You see? Krishna Tattva. One who knows Krishna Tattva, he is actually Guru. Tattva means principle. Tattvam also means the essential characteristic. So Krishna Tattva means excuse me. So Krishna Tattva means you have to know that whatever we are perceiving, it is Krishna. This must be, such a person is Guru. So just because we are teaching somebody, we cannot call ourselves Siksha Guru. No, if you are teaching and you are a Guru, then you are Siksha Guru. Otherwise, you are giving Siksha. And you can be called Guru now, like he is my teacher. He is not a bona fide teacher. Authorized, qualified and authorized. So we should be very, very careful. By the way, it is false ego. You see? We have to be very, very, very careful. It is not so easy to apply to ourselves the term Guru. And in ISKCON, it is very fashionable to say, oh, so-and-so is my Siksha Guru, like that. We don't even know who is a Guru. You see? So, which is we have to be very, very, very careful. These are very important. These are all actually anarthas in spiritual life. Because, if we misunderstand things, it will make us deviate. You see, it will look like we are on the path, but we are deviating. And it will be known later only you have deviated, not now. Who is interested? Our sincerity alone is the answer for that. So, to become a yogi 24/7 is to be connected to Krishna. Yoga means plus, to be connected to Krishna. And if we don't know Krishna, whatever we are thinking about Krishna is okay, but it is not bona fide. It is not bona fide. Because, like I realize in my own case, that as a conditioned soul, I am actually having only a selfish existence. I do not know anything other than my own selfishness. Prabhupada is so polite that he was talking about, people who are doing social service, that's also extended selfishness, and we preach. But forget extended selfishness. Most of us are not even in a position to do social service. We are basic or things also in life we are struggling for. Where is the question of social service? But whereas in self-interest we act. So when Krishna says, he who explains this secret to my devotees is very dear to me, there's one meaning, which is that just like, you see, a policeman comes and tells all the thieves, don't steal things. And then after some time, some of them, they all agree, okay, we are not going to steal. But still, some are stealing, most are, but keeping it little sort of side miracle. So the person who is one of them, he knows what others are doing because he himself has been doing it. He may remind them, okay, you said that we will not steal, but do you remember the stash that we made in that place after stealing? What about that stash? Should we not return it? Like that. So those who are on the path of Krishna consciousness, so Acharya is speaking to correct us, but we can also tell others because we are part of the thief group. So we can say some things that Acharya may not know, in the sense, not that he cannot know, he can know everything if he wants, but why should he bother? He gives the most general principles and hopes that we will follow and come closer to him so he can give more instructions. But we can tell them, we are like this, we are like this. So that is also explaining to the devotees. So even though we are preaching, we should approach it from the viewpoint that I am also a thief. I'm a conditioned soul. There's no harm in it. But at least as a conditioned soul, if we are sincerely serving the Acharya, then Prabhupada said you must be in knowledge. No more green glass knowledge. And if you are in knowledge, then you can communicate that knowledge to others. Unless the heart changes, there is no point in becoming a yogi. There's no hope. And unlimited trillions of lifetimes I have spent being a selfish guy. Even when I'm doing devotional service, I'm always calculating what is it that I will get. I may even think I'll become a pure devotee. That's also selfishness. You don't even know what is a pure devotee. Why are you trying to become that? That is causeless devotional service. costless devotional service is not based on any expectation. It's not so easy to get. So we should not make this basic thing, whatever we are doing in the sadhana stage, which is actually like sadhya, the liberated stage, as if this is the perfection. Oh, you are chanting 16 rounds, you are reading books. Oh, you are also initiated. Oh, no. Then you are, perfect. So in Krishna consciousness also we should not make sadhana sadhya. So the religions are generally, they don't have sadhya part at all. They are doing, this is why it's business, kaitava dharma. We are following, and not to speak of irreligious people. For them, sadhana is a material world, working hard, and that's the goal. For them also, sadhana is same as sadhya. This is all Vedanta. That's all. There's no need only to talk about Athato Brahma Jignasa. What is Brahman? What is Jignasa? In Sanskrit, the root Ji has got this meaning, Ya has got this meaning, Sa has. There's no need for all this nonsense. We are like animals. There's no need to pretend. There's no need to put ourselves up in a very great platform. No, but everybody is thinking, I'm Guru. I've learned something. Now I'll teach it to somebody else. I'm also Guru. You may be acting like in the position of the Guru, just like a student in the class is teaching his fellow student, helping him out. But he's not a teacher. So these are very important points, hearing. So one thing is there that I want to start a blog on which people can ask questions throughout the week. And then, the best questions that I will answer. So we will start this blog and send, by email notice, and you can join. And then we can also, I see. Is Abhay there now? Those of you who want to be part of this blog, you can put it in the chat that I want to be part of this blog. You can put right now. And the response to the questions may come in the blog, or it may come in a channel I'm starting. We can also subscribe there, either way, and a podcast or something like that. And so I can just send some messages, short video messages, and you can hear, and hopefully it will be good for me. And so people can put on the chat, whoever wants to be part of this blog, and then also want to subscribe to the channel. You please put your name here, and others, Okay, so what is this? Krishna, Gopala. So after more than 43, 44 years, I'm realizing slowly that I'm in complete ignorance. I'm speaking so many things, it appears like I know some philosophy. Okay, I may know a little bit, and it may be wrong also, but I'm in ignorance. There is no doubt about that. Beautiful. Yeah, some people are putting private message, put it in the public chat. Make sure that you select the message option, everyone. Ah, Krishna. Okay. So these are all basic points I'm repeating. So yoga means to be always connected to Krishna, but we don't know who is Krishna. We must understand this point, you see. Bhakti, where is Abhay? You can put him on. You can make his video.
Hare Krishna. He left. He was there here for around 10 minutes. He just left. I think he was making some mischief.
Then he should, when he is there, he should tell me.
Actually, I tried, but I think I couldn't unmute it. So
Okay.
that he was trying to say Hare Krishna back. I'll just get him in. Just give me a minute.
So, because Deepika, your because of busy life, you're once again please late. Okay. So, very important point. Yoga means to be connected to Krishna. And to be connected to Krishna is not a simple thing. You see, for that you have to be Krishna conscious. There's no other way you can be connected to Krishna. You see, we should write this down. That yoga means to be connected to Krishna. I'll write it myself. Yoga means to be always connected to Krishna. And there is no way to be connected to Krishna without being Krishna conscious. Therefore, you see, we must know what Krishna consciousness means. I wanted to give the example using Abhay, but she is not here. You can. So, you see, you can all do this exercise now. Okay, if Abhay is not there, I can use all of you. So all of you, you do this exercise. All of you touch the table in front of you. Do you see? Touch the table. I'm also touching. You see? You feel the table, an object. Now you touch your hand with your left hand, you can touch your right hand. Bare skin, touch. Now you are not feeling an object. You are actually feeling a person. You see? Are you all doing this exercise?
Yes, Prabhu.
Are you feeling the difference?
Yes.
Everybody can put on the chat. I have done the experiment and I feel the difference. I don't feel the difference. You see? How many people have put, I want to be the part of the blog?
Check.
How many?
Just 1 minute.
Anyway, So, so there's a difference. So when you, for example, touch the table, just like when you touch your hand, you feel the person. When you touch or see or smell, you can feel Krishna. That is called Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Krishna is revealing in the Bhagavad Gita, Mada Maya Tatamidam Jagat Sarvam Avyakta Bhurtina. By me, in my unmanifested form, Murti. So even so I wanted to do this experiment with Abhay and the mother, but she's not here. So the point is that just like you feel the person when you touch the hand,
So about 30 people have said yes.
yeah, so now everyone should put, I don't want to be the part of blog, or I want to be part of blog. Put everyone, the people who are not yet put, everybody should put in the next 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, no problem, Bhakti, fine. So you can feel the difference. I've done the same thing now with everybody. And in this way, to actually come to the point of seeing Krishna, feeling Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is giving. When you are drinking water, I'm the taste. What does it mean? You got to feel when you taste it. So Prabhupada says, when you take water and then you feel this is Krishna, the taste is Krishna, then you are Krishna conscious. And we take it very simply. At least I used to take it like a fool. Yeah, maybe whenever I drink water, I should think, it's so good. It's a hot day. I'm drinking cold water. This is Krishna. It's all right. It's rubbish. Imitation. Frog-like existence. But we are thinking this, like this is called repeating what Prabhupada said. Plus I know Guru for saying that. You see? Extraordinary false ego. Everybody is possessed of this kind of false ego. So how can we learn? You see, it is not possible to learn. You see? Okay, there are totally 37. When all 37 have responded one way or other, let me know, please, co-host.
Yes.
So the point is that this is actually the beginning of Krishna consciousness. This is why Krishna is saying, Prabhasmi Sasishurayo. When you see the brilliance of the full moon and the sun, one must feel Krishna. Just like when you touch your hand, you feel the person, especially if you touch your beloved child or something, you feel. That's why I wanted Abhay to be there. You can also touch if anybody is next to you, your child, or you can touch their hand and should feel. I can feel. This is not touching it and thinking, oh, it's like wood only, it's an object, but behind this, there is my child. No. So it is not a way of saying, oh, this light is, you have to feel it. This is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. These kind of things are not, they're revealed. In the Bhagavad Gita is there. What does it mean? You cannot concoct in your own way. Oh, Prabhu, I have also concocted much better than most people. I remember I gave a class once, a lecture in IIT, Bombay, long time ago, in the 80s, or beginning of 90s. And the class was, the lecture was titled, Why is Gulab Jamun Sweet? And then I explained that the Gulab Jamun, we can say that it is sweet by itself because it has got sweetness. But at least according to current science, no matter how much we physically examine the gulab jamun, its weight, its color, and its chemical composition, you cannot taste its sweetness. You have to taste it. So you cannot say gulab jamun is, what is called gulab jamun is there out in the world. There is an object. That if I take that gulab jamun and throw it and hit somebody, that person may feel pain. Then you'll say gulab jamun is painful, not sweet. So every object has got a certain mode, in certain sense by which you must experience it. Gulab jamun by tongue, sweet. So then one can say, gulab jamun, that object, when I taste it, then the sweetness comes. But that is also not true, because I may not taste, someone else can taste. So this is known as the problem of color in the Western world. I know in those days I had studied those things. So I explained to IIT boys. And of course, this problem has come in physics also now. That let's not worry, even for basic properties like position, we'll not worry about that. So there are enough people who are waiting to see what kind of...
Yeah, Abhay is here. Abhay is here.
Okay.
About 3 people haven't answered, the rest of them have answered for the blog.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, bye. How are you?
Hari bol. Hari bol.
भागवतम पढ़ना है, भागवतम पढ़ना है. हाँ?
Yep.
हाँ, yeah.
कृष्णा कहाँ है?
What is that?
कृष्णा कहाँ है?
कृष्णा कहाँ है? कृष्णा है, तुम्हारे सामने है कृष्णा. देखो मेरे पीछे है कृष्णा. कृष्णा को देखो, मेरे पीछे है कृष्णा. Now he's back to busy mischief, right?
He's gone for refreshments. Apple.
Okay. All right. So I want to give that example with Abhay, you touching Abhay's hand and touching the table. But now I made everybody do that experiment. No problem. So the point is that I was saying something else. Then I got, what was that point? I don't remember now. I've forgotten. Something I was saying. So Krishna.
The problem has also come in physics, the problem of color.
Yeah, problem of. And there are always enough. What will Rasraj say in science and how we can copy it and present it as our own idea and appear very important. There are people like that in this world, many. This is not devotional service. You see? It is a demoniac activity. Abhay, Bhagavatam kahan hai? Bhagavatam lao. Apple laya tum, abhi Bhagavatam lao. Krishna क्या मेरे पीछे है Krishna देखो. Just see how the boy is asking, where is Krishna? Krishna is listening. He's saying, Krishna kahan hai? Only 2-year-old boy. So it's like that. So this idea is there, color. I was explaining to IT boys. So neither can you say gulab jamun is sweet by itself, nor can you say the gulab jamun is sweet because I'm tasting, because somebody else can also taste. So how is the gulab jamun sweet? Then I gave the example. Suppose you read a novel. In those days, James Bond novels were very famous. So you read a book, you say it's thrilling. But if the book is only paper and ink, how can it be thrilling? So, you see, ultimately you cannot say because I read the book, it is thrilling. So you have to accept ultimately the book, even though it's an inanimate object, it is thrilling because of the author. It is the author who is coming across the book. Like that, gulab jamun is sweet because of Krishna, because Krishna is sweet. Like that I spoke. You see, okay, this is also Krishna consciousness. This is already better than what most people can speak. And I spoke this when I was 28. But Krishna consciousness as a feeling is something different, not an intellectual exercise. Therefore, now I'm telling you that Krishna consciousness means to feel Krishna everywhere. Because the person, the supreme person, just like behind the body, which is matter, you are there, soul, therefore this is called a person. Similarly, this entire creation, Krishna is there. That's why it's living. You see, plants are living, birds are living. You see, even mountains are growing things. Life everywhere. And where is this life coming from? The life is coming from Supreme Life, Krishna. Where is that Krishna? Who is he? That's why he's saying, Krishna kaha hai? I wish I could have asked like that. I still don't ask. You see? Oh, he is teaching us. You can say his guru. As soon as he saw me, he says, Krishna kaha hai? You see? There has to be Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, how can you ask? Most babies will say, Mummy kaha hai? Papa kaha hai? So, Krishna is there in the creation. How can I feel Krishna? That is Krishna consciousness. That cannot be imitated. It cannot be, simply artificially. That is called sadhya. Knowledge must come. Knowledge by which you can actually become Krishna conscious. That is why it's called Buddhi Yoga. And you have to hear. Without hearing, there is no question of becoming Krishna conscious. You see? Is everybody getting some understanding of the beginning stage? Therefore, Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who is the authority on Krishna consciousness, in the Bhagavatam, he says in the 2nd chapter that he says the first stage in God realization. Prabhupada has translated it like that. You see? The first step in God realization, 2nd canto. And what is the first step? He explains the universal form. So then Prabhupada writes in the commentary, imagine Prabhupada's position. Because in the olden days, 5,000 years ago, people were very advanced and they were, they were all impersonalists also many. So Sukadeva Goswami is describing, but Prabhupada says this is an imaginary form, the Vishwarupa. Behind Krishna is that. See Krishna in the universe. It is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. What it means, we must know. So when Krishna says that I am the taste in water, it's not just simply repeating mechanics. Of course, that is also good. I'm not putting it down. But I want to go beyond that. beyond being a parrot. As soon as you drink water, you must feel Krishna. The same way, when your baby sits on your lap, you feel the baby. It is not that you feel only a weight, an object, but say, but actually this is my baby. No. So we cannot continue to see table and chair and also, say that this is Krishna. That is all right. It's a beginning stage, but we must be self-critical. Therefore, Prabhupada says that knowledge begins not from Krishna, but by understanding objects we are accustomed to see every day. The Bhagavatam also says, Vedyam Vastam. So in this way, when we keep on hearing, we can become yogi. There's no other way. There's no other way. So don't be like a Sunday Christian thing. Every Sunday there's lecture. You must actually understand Krishna consciousness in an authorized way, not through your own mind. Most everybody is simply reading the Bhagavatam and trying to understand themselves and talk nonsense. That nonsense is also okay, but we must be dissatisfied with it. So I'm saying that although in those days I spoke like that, I was still dissatisfied. So unless you oh really? Abba is complaining. Rasraj Prabhu nahi bol raha hai, Krishna kaha hai. But मैं बोला, Abba, Krishna मेरे पीछे है. So you make him look at my video and point to him.
Abhay?
You show him that Rasraj Prabhu का पीछे है. No, he sees. See, the boy is very serious. He's not joking. So he said, I asked, where is Krishna? He has not answered.
Krishna है ना पीछे?
अबे देखो पीछे है कृष्णा वीडियो में देखो
देखो कृष्णा है ना?
सी देखो कृष्णा देखो अभी कृष्णा है
कहाँ है दिखाओ?
He's watching and he's thinking. So please try to. This is Krishna consciousness. When the baby is asked, this must be Krishna. क्या?
कृष्णा क्या कर रहे हैं?
कृष्णा लीला कर रहा है. कृष्णा लीला कर रहा है. कृष्णा बंसी बजाता है.
बांसुरी बजाता है ना?
What's he say?
किसके साथ बांसुरी बजाता है?
Huh? What is that?
किसके साथ बांसुरी बजाता है?
ओ राधा रानी के पास. राधा रानी भी है पास में. देखो कृष्णा है. कृष्णा का पास राधा रानी है
ना? राधा रानी देखा?
राधा रानी भी है. देखो मेरे पीछे देखो कृष्णा है. पास में राधा रानी है. तो राधा रानी के लिए कृष्णा बंसी बजाता है. क्या?
He's doing that. कैसे?
He is blowing the bamsi. Yeah, बहुत अच्छा है. Very nice. See, he's not just talking. The baby is not talking. See, yes, he has got a flute that he plays sometimes at home, and now he's blowing. So when I said Krishna Bhakti Bhajata, he has understood. So this is Krishna consciousness, and this will all be with him. We should not think it's a waste. So Bhakti, you do nazar for him after the class. So the thing is there, Krishna consciousness. I have been training this boy from childhood, from the time he was in the womb. Along, I was helping his mother, to make him Krishna conscious. And the result is there, you see. The result is there. This is the purpose for which to have a child. You see? And to raise the child Krishna conscious. You see? This is life. Everybody can bring up, but no. What is it? My son is studying in 10th grade. He's going to take INT Joint Science exam. He's going to go here. My son is going to go for undergraduate to Berkeley study. Enemy. The father is the enemy of the child. The mother is the enemy of the child in Kali Yuga. Left to him, he would have been Krishna conscious. I'm not talking about in general. But the parents mislead him, just like Hiranyakasipu. In Haribhakti Suddhodaya, it is said that Hiranyakasipu told his son, who was only 3-4 years old, that Prahlad, why are you simply telling everybody to chant Krishna's name, Hare Krishna and all that? You are Yuvraj, you are my son. You'll be next after me in the throne. So why don't you, of course, I don't think he said that after me because he thought he was eternal. So he was saying, you are Yuvraj. He said, I can get hundreds and thousands and millions of beautiful girls for you. Can you imagine? It is in Haribhakti Suddhodaya. Narada Muni is giving Bhagavatam class there to Saunakadi sages. And Narada Muni is saying that this is what Hiranyakasipu told his son, who was a young boy. Imagine. He is thinking that that child can be attracted like this. That is demoniac thinking. Demoniac. So do not think it is so easy to come to human platform of life. One has to be dedicated to make one's child Krishna conscious. Then you become mother. Janani na sasyat, pita na sasyat, daivam na sasyat, guru na sasyat. It is there in the Bhagavatam. Don't become a mother or father or teacher or guru unless you can deliver them, can make them Krishna conscious. There is no other way you can become Krishna conscious than by hearing the virtuous message of Krishna consciousness. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. What is that verse? Shrunvatam or something. What is that Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya? Anybody?
Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya.
Prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati nashti. You see? Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Whatever is troublesome to the heart is completely eliminated by regularly hearing Bhagavatam. Regularly means as much as you can. From the right source. Therefore, Prabhupada has written his books. Then the next thing after hearing, which you must do, to become daily Krishna conscious, possible, don't think it is not possible, is actually an important thing which is also very much misunderstood, which is, I'll put this in capitals, service. Service is not whatever you do. But it's not service. I used to give this example also a long time ago. I don't even know from where I was giving these examples. But I used to give this example a long time ago. When I was young and I was preaching. But my only good qualification is that I always knew that I'm a fool. You can speak all of this, but where is your Krishna consciousness? I was asking myself all the time. And I'm still asking. So, service is the way to get out of selfishness. Remember, I began this class by talking about I'm selfish, always acting for my own benefit. So even if I do something for Krishna and it is for my swartha means selfishness, then that is still not yet service. It is punya, very great activity, but it is not pure. One must internally want to be a pure devotee. If one is thinking, I'm already a great devotee, I'm a guru, I'm Diksha Guru, I'm Siksha Guru, how you can actually become devotee? Not possible. Every fool is thinking, I'm going and I'm giving classes, I'm Siksha Guru. You see? You are not professor. How you are somebody's professor? Simply by speaking, you cannot become professor. प्रवचनेन न लभ्यते. प्रवचन करने से नहीं आएगा Krishna consciousness. So the essential service is, so I used to give the example that somebody got a job in a company. So I had previously worked in India when I was working in Air India. So, they gave me a nice table, nice cabin, and in the cabin, a nice room, and a nice table, big table, chair, there's a telephone, there's all kinds of facilities. Suppose I start my own travel agency there. That's not service. You are misusing the facilities. But suppose I say, no, I've been given the job. Now I will do something for Air India and try to do something on my own. This is also not service. Service is that whoever gave you the job, he will tell you what to do. And you should do that. So, service is what they say, Prabhupada and Krishna, because they have given us this gift of Krishna consciousness. So, we should not think that just because, so I'm chanting, that's also service provided you clear the sadhana stage, all the 10 offenses. Therefore, when we chant Hare Krishna, we say, it means engage me in your devotional service, because that we should do. That is the meaning of chanting. Because I must act for what Krishna wants. Karmanya, without being connected like this properly, there is no meaning to devotional service. We should know this. We have made ISKCON also, we have made sadhana, sadhya. That's all, Prabhu. Just chant Hare Krishna, jump up and down, and then you go and do some service in the temple, and oh, you're not initiated, you should get initiated. Prabhupada set up such that the initiation has no meaning. When he himself gave initiation, he said it has no special meaning. Everything depends. It has got a purpose. People don't know that. The purpose is not to get a Diksha Guru. Who is going to say all of these things? Who is going to know? Simply. My mother used to chastise us. And whenever I do something, she'll say, Ella Swayamacharya Purusha. She'll say. These are all Swayamacharya Purusha. She had 11 children. Her Krishna consciousness was that she was also complaining in terms of Shastra. Children were not listening. Swayamacharya Purusha means I am my own Acharya. There are some people who claim that in Sri Vaishnava, if you go, they'll say, we are Swayamacharyas. What Swayamacharya? You nonsense. This is not what Krishna said. What Swayamacharya? So, everybody now is Swayamacharya. You will see no one has got a guide in his life. I'll be doing this, I'll be doing that, and devotional service also, I'll do this, I'll do that. How you can become a yogi? Nonsense. So please try to understand, you can in your own life become a yogi, but for that, you must regularly hear and you must do service. Service is that which is given. Prabhudatta Seva. Manudatta is not seva. But Krishna is so kind, he considers that also as seva. But jab Prabhu datta, tab seva banta hai. And the nature of service is such that you can never think of it yourself. It will be a surprise. When you get service from the beginning, it will be a surprise. You did not know that this is what you can do, and you will do it with such great interest, and you cannot know that. When I joined in Detroit Temple and I was there were very few Indians at that time. Then I wanted to become full-time, but the temple president told me, you stay in the Brahmachari ashram, I had a company, you continue to run it, and give whatever money you are getting, give to temple. Because they also wanted, I said, fine, there was no problem. So I was doing that. That's quite fine. But I also was thinking, sooner or later, I should be a full-time devotee. But what I will do, in those days in America and all that, people were simply going on the street, selling records and then giving books, and I did not fancy myself doing it. They'll go and they'll ask people, what do you like, blue or jazz or, rock? I don't even know what those things are. If I ask, the American people on the street will laugh. So I was thinking, what should I do? What will be my service? So once one young sannyasi came to give a class. After the class, as he was leaving the temple room, I said, I have a question, can I ask? He said, yes. Later, we became good friends. Then I said, what will be my service, if I'm full-time? I'm already in the temple, but temple president has told me to continue my work and donate, so I'm doing. But I would like to do also full-time service, but what will it be? He said, he gave a very brilliant answer. Later on, that sannyasi fell down, but still this was such a good thing. That is why devotional service is eternal. So whatever he said is still a brilliant answer. So that is, we should know that. So he was saying, he said, many, many, many devotees go through their whole lifetime without getting an answer to this question. He said, for this question, Prabhupada has to be very merciful to you. He said that. And later Prabhupada was merciful. So when Prabhupada engaged me in this quantum mechanics service, I had not even known the name quantum mechanics, nor did I know ever I can do research. You see, there are many people now, the so-called devotees, in so many universities in India, who foolishly think that they can do something and science and, it will be Krishna conscious. This is not how things, Krishna consciousness can be done. You see? And whatever they are doing in karmic science, they just try to connect it to their own understanding of Bhagavatam. That's not how I'm working. That's a different matter. So that service, when you come, I had not even heard the name quantum mechanics at that time when Prabhupada told me to do this work. That is the sign of Prabhu Datta Seva. You will not know that you could have done this service. Maybe something very simple, but you wouldn't know. That when you get that service here, and to do that service in the beginning, you should do whatever is asked to do. Slowly, that service will be revealed. In the beginning, sadhana level service, whatever is given, you should do. That's what we are doing now. These are all very technical points. I'm just going fast and saying. So why should we do service for Krishna? Because he's coming, what Krishna wants we do. Because that is your best selfishness. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada quoted from Vishnu Purana. See, I never say, therefore Vishnu Purana says. No, what do I know about Vishnu Purana? I'm an animal. Just because Prabhupada said, we cannot say these things as if it's our own idea. Always say, Prabhupada said, I'm not the body, I'm spiritual. Not that I'm not the body, I'm spiritual. No, don't be a murk. So, Prabhupada quoted Vishnu Purana to say, Nate viduhu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. This is there. Nobody taught Puranas like Prabhupada taught. We didn't know the scriptures are so beautiful statements are there. Everything in scriptures are all fools and rascals. People generally look at scriptures as if they know more and they have to explain what scriptures are saying. Scripture is written by the greatest personality and by all acharyas who are following the greatest personality. But people are so foolish that they are thinking that they will read scripture and explain. So service is Prabhudatta Seva, and that is the only way to get rid of selfishness. Vishnu Purana says, Prabhupada said, Na te viduhu. Te means those people. Those people means those in this material world. That is us, at least me. So na te viduhu. I do not know. Viduhu means no. Na means not. Na te viduhu. They do not know. Swartha, your best selfishness, your best self-interest. Swartha means self-interest, but it is selfishness. Your best expression of selfishness is Swartha Gatim Hi Vishnu. Swartha Gatim Hi Vishnu. Gatim. Gati means, the goal. And the Gati means, so the goal of my activities must be Vishnu. This is my best selfishness. Not that the goal must be me or others. That is not selfishness. So like Prabhupada said, spiritual communism, this is the spiritual what? What is this nonsense? Hundreds of services available. Who is this fool? Let me see. Kripa Sangha, nonsense. There's only one service for you. You should know this. What is this nonsense? There's something already fixed for you. You have to find it out. For that requires Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasada. You can't go to a company and say there are hundreds of things to do here. What is it? They'll say, what nonsense is this? You have been selected as an electrical engineer. Finished. What is this hundreds of services? You are not even given the job. Therefore, you are thinking there is hundreds of services. When it says electrical engineer wanted and you apply, that's all your services. Whether there are accountants there, the pilots are there, cabin crew is there, how does it matter to you? You follow Kripa Shankar?
Yes, yes.
So no service. How long you have been in ISKCON?
10 years.
Huh?
Around 10 years.
And still no service. You have not applied.
Yes.
Please try to, I'm happy that you asked the question. Don't think, please don't mistake that I'm giving you sauce. But I have to say like that. But this is a good question in the sense that we realize that I have not applied for the job. That's why I'm thinking I can apply for any of these things. When you go to the university, you have not really applied for a particular department. You have not applied only, because application can only be for one department, correct? You cannot apply for economics, you cannot apply also for this. Even if you go to joint entrance exam, I think they ask you to put down preference, which engineering. First preference, you have to select. And if it's outside job, that's only one specific job. Company invites applications for chief accountant. That's a job. This shows that Prabhudatta Seva we have not got. And it won't come so easily. So after proper hearing, when we actually desire and we offer ourselves saying, I'll do service, please give me service. That's all you can ask. Prabhupada once said that the only question you can ask the spiritual master is, what service can I do for you? You see? So this is not something that can be just told. You have to offer, and then by Krishna's grace, it will come. So in the beginning, you'll have to start doing basic things. Like when the child gets up in the morning, you cannot straight away say, go to school. Okay, now you got now very nice. Now put some water on your face, clean your face, now brush your teeth, take your bath, put the new clothing, sit down here, take your breakfast, now to take your school books, the bag, and here is the tiffin, lunch, to put the socks, put the shoe, out the door, the bus is coming, everything. Then only going to school and getting education starts. Like that, in the beginning, there will be some mechanical aspects of service that will be given to you, do this, and you should show your surrender and sincerity by doing them. No, people don't know this science. And the person who can engage all of us is Srila Prabhupada. That's why he's Acharya. And there's a system, there's a process. And those who are following should at least be outside green class. Simply, anyway. Okay, so that's a good question. There are no hundreds of services. That's the problem. You should ask the question, there is one service for me. What is that? Please tell me. There is no other service. But to get that service, you must first express and you must offer yourself for service. No, people. Okay. Therefore, today we'll complete the class now. The points are made to become, and I'll continue this process. It's not a simple thing. To become a yogi, you don't have to be a sannyasi. In fact, I quoted Bhagavad Gita last time, Sannyasastu mahabhogo dukkham aptum ayogataha. Sannyas will actually only generate misery. So somebody may say, I'm working and so no money is coming, it's misery in this world, I'll take sannyas. No, that'll also give misery, Krishna says. The correct thing is, sthane sthita, be situated where you are and try to engage yourself in Krishna consciousness. And you see that you must hear. And Krishna consciousness means, I said, you must feel Krishna everywhere. Yomam sarvatra sada pashyati, tasyaham sulabham partha. Krishna says, one who sees me everywhere, all the time, I'm very easy to get. It's a very great, and this knowledge will be revealed to you. You can go past green glass knowledge only if you hear and you serve. There's no other way. There's no other way. There's no other. Nasti eva, nasti eva, nasti eva, gatiranyata. So in that sense, it's a good question you asked, but it should have been slightly different, but that's okay. We are all learning. Any questions or comments?
Hello.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So my name is Rajat. So I have a question. Sir, I don't generally feel motivated to chant Hare Krishna. So when you were very young, how did you used to do that? Can you tell me something about that?
I was very young.
So when you were very young, then from that time onwards for 40-45 years you've been chanting. So, but I don't feel very motivated to chant, or I'm living in the hostel in the college. So can you tell me some changes that I can make so that I feel somewhat more naturally motivated to chant? Thank you.
Chanting in the beginning, that's a good question. Chanting in the beginning, Prabhupada said quantity is more important than quality. Ultimately, quality is important. So chanting is actually, you see, you have to hear. The more you hear, the better you chant. And you see, even though you are in the hostel and everything, it's a Sunday evening, you have come to hear. That's all. This is the beginning, small beginning only. We have to hope that you keep on hearing, it will increase. There's no other way, you see. We have to be a little slow. We have to be patient, and you see, this desire, Prabhupada explains this in Perfection of Yoga, first page. This desire that you are expressing, how can I increase my Krishna consciousness? He says Krishna is already present in this desire for you. So only cultivate that. Always feel, how can I want to increase, but I'm not increasing, and Krishna will guide you. Krishna will guide you. Everybody else is external, and their guidance comes only from Krishna. He guides us. So you have to Rajas. You are also the person who you are a physics student.
No, sir. I'm doing MBBS.
MBBS. Okay, that's another boy. So you should. I cannot say what should be your. You have to be fortunate. It is not so easy to do service. I mean, people are like buffaloes. You have to beat them to do service. Because they are always swarthis. They want to do what they want in their own way. So what can we do? We have to be patient and we have to help people. So continue this desire you have. I'm only in the hostel. I'm not chanting nicely. And you see, just like suppose you are what? You are in Bengal. Where are you?
Karnataka.
Karnataka. You see, if somebody, a Chinese man comes and tells you, cha chao, you don't know what it is. Cha chao. Then he actually takes a salt shaker and then shows you the salt and says, cha chao. You see? Then you can actually, you will say, oh, salt. From now on, when you hear the cha chao, you know that this is salt, and you will relate to salt in the qualities of salt and all that. Actually, that is how babies learn language. The babies are constantly watching the speaker very carefully. Very, very carefully, the babies are watching. And so they are actually, and they are connecting to the emotions and feelings of the speaker to the word. That's how they learn the language. You see? I remember when my mother, our first grandchild was there in the family, and she was a small baby, 1 month old, 1 year old baby, or 1.5 years. And my mother, I was in the kitchen. I had come from Annamala University at that time, and I was in the kitchen, and she was taking something and trying to break, and my mother took it away, her grandmother. So then the baby said, the baby was very angry, like that. So then my mother asked, Koma, are you angry? That's all she asked, Koma. But the child has connected the feeling she is having to that word Koma. Another day, I think very next day or something, then what happened, my mother was taking some glass bottle and she just tried to get it and it fell down and broke. My mother was looking like that, angry, and she said, Koma, like that. So that when one day the child has learned the word Koma by relating to the meaning. But adults learn language. When we learn language, we are trying to get the sound and relate it to feeling. But that's not how children learn language. There's a science behind this from Bhagavatam, but we won't talk about it. So, so that hearing this, don't speculate. Oh, hey, that means this guy can do that. So when somebody says chicha, then you know it is salt. Then that word you can connect because I have experience and everything. Similarly, when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna, well, Krishna is all attractive, we say. But when you say Krishna, is that sound all attractive to you? No. Because you have not heard about Krishna and you cannot, you have not. So if somebody says Chinchon and you don't know what he's saying, you hear the sound, but it has no meaning for you. But when you have understood, you have related it to some experience, then it has meaning. So that experience is hearing. When you hear from the proper source, you will actually get an experience of Krishna, which when you chant, you will also get. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. You see? That same, you must experience. Otherwise, there's no meaning to chanting. So when you chant better, you will, when you hear better, you will chant better. When you chant better, you will hear better. So Prabhupada said, it's like two rails on which the spiritual life goes, Shravanam Kirtan. So continue to do that. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Cultivate that feeling. That feeling is the most important. Without that, but that feeling alone is not enough. And afterwards, you have to start doing things. That when you are sincere, then it will come. Like I said, you have to, it's all up to you. Nothing can be fed. What is any other thing? There was some other question. I'll see. Table and hand example is amazing. I don't know how to feel Krishna and everything. In fact, I don't think I actually feel Krishna. How do I start feeling? Yes, to start feeling Krishna, you must know about Krishna. How can you feel Krishna if you don't know who is Krishna? That is the point of all these classes, which of course I am speaking nonsense. So from that, if you come to hear Krishna Prabhupada, then slowly, there's no other way. There's no other way. I've got Bhagavatam here. Let me just randomly open a page. And I'll read. Prabhupada writes, the devotees are above material goodness and badness. They are progressive on the path of transcendence, and therefore they have no desire for anything material. See, when we read these things, at least when I used to read these things, I used to think that Prabhupada is explaining something. The devotees are above the material goodness and badness. They are progressive on the path of transcendence, and therefore they have no desire for anything material. The devotee also knows Sri Krishna as the original Narayana because Lord Sri Krishna by his plenary portion. Anyway, so you see, the devotees are above this material goodness and badness. They are progressive on the path of transcendence, and therefore they have no desire for anything material. What does this mean? You follow? Now, if you're trying to understand this, you speculate. This is all we all do. We all think Prabhupada is trying to explain something and I have to read this and I have to understand. That's one level, that's fine. But if you actually, I'm beginning to see more clearly that Prabhupada is explaining how a devotee is feeling. What is the sign of a devotee is explaining? The devotees are above this material goodness and badness. This is how devotees are. We should think, wow, this is how devotees are. I am not like that. That's what you have to think. Well, at least I'm saying like that. Who knows whether I'm speaking nonsense or sense. They are progressive on the path of transcendence. Such devotees are actually on the path of, they're going somewhere. Do you see? And therefore, they have no desire for anything material. He's describing devotees, he's describing himself. Of course, he is also on the progressive path, but entirely on the other side. So Prabhupada, therefore, he said that Srimad Bhagavatam, my purports are my ecstasies. So if you see that actually Prabhupada everywhere is explaining how a devotee thinks. Doesn't matter whether it's in the material world or spiritual world, devotee thinks like this. There's nothing to understand. You have to feel this. The devotees are above this material. He's already saying devotees. But I am thinking, what does this mean? This is the contamination. I'm reading this book, what does it mean? There's nothing to mean. He's explaining why, what is that to mean? Oh, the devotees are above this material goodness and badness. Wow. Devotee. But if I'm thinking I'm a devotee, it's no. They are progressive on the path of transcendence. And therefore, they have no desire for anything material. But I have so many material desires. Therefore, I'm not on this path. How did the devotees become like this? That's all. Not that, goodness, badness, material, these are modes of nature. Then, it's a material energies like that. Pradhana, this comes, that. What all this nonsense? They have some place, all this knowledge, Sankhya and all that, but that will come later. You hear and do service first. So this is the point. So if you want to feel Krishna everywhere, you read Prabhupada properly. But you have to be blessed. For that, you should actually have a genuine appreciation for Prabhupada, love, some great person. And he's written something amazing that no one has ever written. No devotee came to the material world and explained how he is feeling. That is, nobody has done it. I mean, I'm sure everybody else also did all the acharyas, but for me, I only know Prabhupada. So, I'm just saying nobody in the sense that for me, who is there? When I went to Srirangam, after I became a devotee from America and I went to Srirangam. And then somebody was telling the pujari there, and then one of the senior bhattars, he is also from Gomatam family. And Gomatam family is from the time of Ramanujacharya, and they are actually descendants of Manola Mamuni. Manola Mamuni is himself expansion of Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya himself is expansion of Anantasesh. So you can imagine. So he said, oh, you're from Gomatam family. Then what is it that you have found in that sampradaya that you have left our sampradaya? He said like that. So I told him, I don't know what is in that sampradaya. That's not in the sampradaya and all that, I don't know. But I was in America, I was in the gutter. Saturday, I told him. I was in gutter. And Prabhupada came and took me out of the gutter. So I'm beholden to him, that's all. Say nandri. என் நன்றி கொன்றார்க்கும் உய்வுண்டாம் உய்வில்லை செய் நன்றி கொன்றார்க்கு. Say nandri actually means creation. You may not be, grateful to anybody who has done some help for you. But if you are not grateful to the person who actually has created this world because he has made you experience your desire so that you can go back to him, then there is no hope for you. Because we must see who has created this world, this perfect world. This is the meaning of Thirukural. En nandri kondraarkum uivundam, uivillai sei nandri kondraarku. Sei nandri means the gratitude for what that has been done without you asking. And that particularly means creation. Similarly, Prabhupada is saying nandri I have. He has done something for me. And you should feel it. He has done something for me. So when with that feeling you study his books, then he will come across to you. Then the book will be different. If you think the book is written in English, you're finished. You're finished. And you will never go past speculative knowledge. This book is not written in English. Just like there's a mathematics book, it's not written in English. It's written in mathematics. It uses English base, but it's mathematics. Similarly, this is bhakti, the language of bhakti. Okay, is that point clear? Yes. How do I make the chat window full? Oops, it went away. How do I go to chat? This Zoom's stupid software is very difficult to use it. Now something has happened. Chat is not even coming up. How to, I'm clicking on the thing, the icon which says chat. It's not coming.
So there is a message by Rabbi Saxena. He says, please tell us about the blog.
Okay, now this has come. Okay. Yes. Yes, I'll read the books in the way you... Okay. Last class, you had said that you share exercises, train ourselves here. So that's what time. That's another time we will do. Next class. Please tell us about the blog. I'll tell about the blog in the blog. You first subscribe there. Last class, you had said that you would share an exercise. Yes. We'll do it another time. How the soul is same as gross body. Wow. That Sunil Prabhu pointed out last time, that Prabhupada repeatedly said that ultimately there is no difference between matter and spirit, but that is not the only point I'm making. So you have to understand, this is knowledge. You have to become qualified for this knowledge. Do service, it will come to you. Krishna will reveal these things to you. Do actual service. There's no other way. There's no other way you can get knowledge. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Bhaktya, only through bhakti. Bhakti means what? Devotional service. Devotional service means given by Krishna through the system. All right, I don't see any other questions. So we can stop here. And then I think you'll all get the blog will be started and this email will be given to you. And you also subscribe to the channel and, and the more you are active on the blog, asking questions, the more the blog will be moderated. So only questions that I think are good will be put, but you can ask any questions. And then some of them I'll answer by podcast. I'll just speak and that's simpler. So there can be class throughout the week if you are interested. Anyway, I've got other things to do too, but let us see what is Krishna's plan. I didn't plan to say this, but it has come out, and so let's do it. So shall we stop here? We'll stop here. Hare Krishna.